Ladies and gentlemen, the Gooners Gone Wild podcast is back, and we got another trophy in our trophy cabinet. I'm here with Ari and Doc. Say what's up, guys.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Champs, baby.
Champions of the community. You'll never sing that. Fuck off, City. You pricks. Can't buy everything. Anyway, let's get right into it. I'm a little hyped up right now. But yeah, so let's just kick it right off. Community Shield. 1-1, winning 4-1 in penalties. Arsenal are victorious. They lift the first trophy this season. Doc, what is your feelings on the game?
I was at a pub in New York City. Shout out to Old City Cheesesteaks and Brew. It was a fantastic pub. The atmosphere was incredible. I will say the first 20, 25 minutes of the match, I was nervous because we were kind of getting worked a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely were getting worked.
Once the boys settled in, you could see kind of the tide change. We got comfortable. Timber was just class. But can we talk about Saliba? I think Holland is still in his pocket.
Yeah,
right now.
Facts.
Absolutely.
All right, what about you?
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely think it took us a little bit to grow into the game, but once we grew into the game, I felt like we were possessing a good amount and we created a lot of good opportunities. Like you said, I think definitely so far Timber has been, I think, the biggest, the most productive signing so far, for sure. But
yeah, no,
Rice,
for sure.
Rice, Timber, Havertz, we lifted our first trophy already.
Havertz, man. Let's talk about Havertz. Okay, so my take on his performance in the match. Okay, no. So we literally talked about him playing center forward and that not being his position. How Chelsea played him there, and he wasn't meant to play there because he didn't do well. I gotta give him credit. Even though he missed the two golden chances that he had, he did better than I thought he was going to, playing up top. Whenever I saw that lineup, the only thing that I wish would have changed would have been having either Trossard or Nketiah up top. But having him up top, I will give him props. I thought he did well in that situation against a very strong City defense.
Yeah, that's true. I'm smirking because I did a interview during preseason with, again, like I said, I think it's Arsenal Fans USA, and it was prime Havertz shit talking, and I made a comment of I wish people were being so reactionary. And in our group chat, when Havertz missed that second chance, I may or may not have sent a message that said $70 million paperweight, but I was proven wrong. I will say his movement off the ball and, his pressing, and he actually made a couple good key interceptions.
Oh my gosh. Dude has an engine.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a little bit reactionary, as Ari called me out on in the group chat. I will say that. But I just think, like we said, he just needs to get that the clinical finishing in his locker, and he's going to be a world-class player. With now sitting on that knowledge for about 4 days, I definitely think he had a really good game. It's just unfortunate because, like most strikers, when they can't finish their dinner, that's the only thing people remember. I don't know about you guys. I've watched the highlights back 5 times, and seeing his movement off the ball and his distribution in the false nine kind of role to Saka and Martinelli. I think it was more Martinelli focused when Martinelli was on the pitch. Was actually really impressive, and his hold up play again. The one thing I want to talk up that's a really big talking point about this match is the anti-Arsenal referee agenda. They know that this is how I feel, and I'm going to feel the same way all season. My thing is, right, Thomas Partey yellow card. I understand that the yellow card was for kicking the ball away and dissent. 1000% understand that. However, Kyle Walker then proceeds to do the same thing in the 65th minute and gets no booking. Secondly, when the Rodri pullback, first of all, how many times? What does Rodri have to do to get a card? Fucking murder someone?
That's 1,000% a card.
Continue.
No, it's just he should have been sent off all right, once. I'm not gonna get exaggerated,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I counted 3 yellow cards that he could have had in that game. Second, thirdly,
At least had one.
at least have one. Yes. Thirdly, the yellow card for Mikel Arteta for asking for a yellow card was completely ridiculous because how can then Pep later on in the game put his arm around the lino and not receive anything after complaining about how much time was added on? Is that not the same thing? Is that not the same thing? Guys, help me out. Is that it? Like
I don't understand the yellow card for Arteta. I really don't. I feel like they're. I hate to jump on the agenda bandwagon, but I really think last year has set Arteta up for getting more yellow cards this year, just because of how animated he is and how much passion he has on the sideline. To be fair, he does come on the field. And he does come out of his manager's box
his
a
technical
lot.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, a lot more than a lot of other coaches or managers. So I think that's setting him up for it. But I 100% agree. I don't know how Pep. I don't know how Rodri didn't get a yellow card. I will say, whenever Arteta did get that yellow card, the bar that I was at, everybody just erupted into like we got Super Mick Arteta,
That's awesome.
and it was wonderful.
That's awesome.
That was so good. What about you, Ari? What do you think?
Yeah.
About what particularly?
The yellow cards.
Yellow cards. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit unfair. Like, if you're gonna give it one way, it's gotta be the same for the other team. Like, it's just unfortunate. I mean, but one talking point that I just really want to bring up is like how disgusting it was when Martin broke Alvarez's ankles. That gave me wet dreams.
No, it's like he does that, and then he turns around, plays the ball. Alvarez stands up and is limping, and Odegaard comes up and gives him a little tap on the back as he's running by him. It's like, oh my god.
Yo, so we were actually talking about that at footy tonight, and I will go out, and Ari has agreed. Will probably also agree when I say this again on the pod. But that was robbery of the century from Real Madrid buying Odegaard for 30 mil. I mean, you see the players of we got Odegaard for the same price West Ham got Maguire. I'm gonna put that out in perspective. Maguire signed for 35. Odegaard signed for 35. That is nuts to me.
That is crazy.
It's just
like absolute robbery, though. Honestly, I mean, at that time, to be fair, they had Modric, Cruz. Who else was playing in the midfield for them?
I think when he went on his first loan is when Camavinga signed, I believe.
I mean, okay, so they had a lot more depth in the midfield, and we just got blessed by them letting him.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. It's the steal of the era. But let's talk about the penalties. More specifically, let's talk about Fabio Vieira. Who was expecting that? I mean, we showed up to the Man United game and he misses a penalty. And then next thing you know, and he was not confident in that Man United game. Like I leaned in. I don't know if it was either you, Doc, or it was Ari. I leaned in. I was like, he's missing this. I could tell by his walk up. But like that was clinical. That was top bins. Like that's incredible.
Was composure from all the boys, I think.
Yes.
Honestly.
Oh my god.
Agreed. Saka, I think, was the nervous out of the 4.
Yeah, he was. His was a little shaky.
His looked like he shanked it a little bit, side-footed it into his other foot, but it dribbled in.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. You know, I'm not gonna. I will say, and I think Ari and I had this debate off camera. I would like to see Odegaard take the penalties from now on. But I also see Ari's side of the argument where if we take Saka off, his confidence will drop. But
I think Saka has to stay on them. But I understand that. Like, I mean, if Jorginho's on, Jorginho's taking them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but I think it would be Saka and then probably Odegaard after that as well. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm agreeing. So 4-1 in penalties. I think it was a really heartwarming celebration where Aaron Ramsdale ran over to Matt Turner. And, you know, it has to be said that we wish Matt Turner all the best in his future endeavors with Nottingham Forest. We said that in the last podcast that he could be on his way out. There was deals in talk with Nottingham Forest that is now official. And I'm really bummed out. However, I'm just taking it. I will support him wherever he goes. Just like Özil when he left. I was still Arsenal will be number one, but I'll always be rooting for Matt Turner. And I think except for Saturday, Matt Turner, you're going to concede 5. Welcome to the Premier League.
Here first.
But no, so I wish him nothing but the best, and it's a great bit of deal, a great little bit of business for Nottingham. I think we could have got a little bit more for him. I think we could have got like 15 for him or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's still profit, and he's going to be moving on. And Raya is coming in on a loan. Just something I would like to point out on is. I need everybody that's now all of a sudden blaming Arsenal for financial fair play to just pipe down, especially if you're a Man City fan. Last time I checked, we don't got 116 charges against us. Okay? Yes, we're getting him on loan to protect our financial fair play status. To me, that's not shady business. To me, that's better business than what you're doing, aka Man City and Chelsea. We're not just buying players outright, we're loaning them.
Isn't Man City in for Paqueta now, where they're about to spend 101 million in order to get him from West Ham, and West Ham turned that down because they want 110 million, and they're probably going to go back in and try and get him.
Absolutely, and
after spending 90 mil on.
I was just about to say 90 mil. Why is that not in the news? Why?
To be fair, all of the clubs we're mentioning are selling their players better than we are.
Yeah, that is true.
That is true. That is true.
There's so much. Yeah. What we get from Matt Turner, we got 9 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got, 5 mil for
Trusty. Everybody else on a free.
That's big business right there.
Yeah, Chelsea got like close to 120, 130 from Mount and Havertz and Kovacic. Yeah. City has been selling all of their youth products as well for like 15, 20 million pounds per. I mean,
that is fair. They are selling,
it's just that we're doing really bad business on the other end, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. And
nobody wants our players.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing. But you can't make financial fair play arguments. I really don't think you can make those arguments.
No.
You could say we're doing bad business. However, there's no breach.
We won the first trophy of the season.
Yeah, how are we breaking financial fair play when I think 4 people on that pitch came from Hale End? I don't see any other clubs doing that. It's completely ridiculous. Any other thoughts on that?
I mean, that's the reason why our club is the most valuable club in the world at this point too, is because of some of the Hale End boys.
Absolutely.
Especially Saka. And the players that we brought in got better. So their value increased because of Arteta. So the club's value increased as well. It's just, no. I haven't heard a lot of the reports about Man City fans chirping, or other fans chirping at us about financial fair play, but I just don't see it.
It's mainly City. It's on Twitter. So I mean, I know you're the Instagram guy, but yeah, it's been on Twitter a couple times. My cousin, who's a Man City fan, has been piping up. But yeah, so overall thoughts about Sunday lifting our first trophy. How do you think that's going to go in mental mind games going into the season?
Like I said before, I thought the Community Shield was going to be more important to us than it was going to be to City. And I think for this exact reason. You could see the reaction of the fans. You could see the reaction of the players after the preseason that we had, being able to finally beat City for the first time in Arteta's 4 years now that he's been at Arsenal. First time that he's beat Pep. And I feel like that in itself is a weight that's lifted off of a lot of the players' shoulders, knowing that, okay, we kind of got that behind us. Now we can move forward with the season on a very positive note, knowing that we beat the treble winners of last season. And I don't care what City fans say about, it's not an important trophy, we didn't play our strongest team. What do you mean you didn't play your strongest team? You had freaking Haaland up top. You had Alvarez, who did brilliant for you in the middle instead of De Bruyne. Your wingers are all class. You had Grealish, who did absolutely nothing all match. Bernardo Silva. You played a really good starting lineup. You just lost.
Yeah, just take the L. And that's the other thing too, is the celebration of Arteta versus Pep. People are trying to make that comparison. It's literally the same celebration. You can't say that we over celebrated when Pep celebrated just as hard when Palmer scored that worldie, which I will not take away from Palmer. That shot was incredible.
That is a filthy goal.
But yeah. So Ari, what you thinking?
I think our run in early on with our schedule is isn't too bad. I think we have a really good run in terms of the teams we have coming up. So I think the boys will be ready to make another title charge this year. Our first difficult game is United, which is September 3rd, and then obviously Tottenham Arsenal. The North London Derby will always be a big one, no matter whether or not Kane is there or not.
Better than Mbappe, though, right? Better than Mbappe, though, right?
It's still better than Mbappe. Let's stand by that. Still better than Mbappe. And then
what's the news on Kane, Ari?
We just found out he is 100% going to Bayern for 110 million pounds.
Yeah,
I think it was 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. Yeah, I mean,
retirement club for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that I can go back onto Bleacher Report, and when I said, "Too bad you're losing your best player in this window," and all the Tottenham fans then clowned me saying, "Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Those are just rumors." I cannot wait to go back and react to that and be like, you know what I mean? Like, we told you so.
Richarlison's bagging 20 this year, though.
So Richarlison is Richarlison is like the Ballon d'Or winner of 2023-24. It's not. Yeah, it's 1000% gonna happen. Okay,
he's gonna end the season with 10 yellow cards from celebrating goals that were offside.
With the little chicken dance. So moving on. I think it was a great win over Sunday, but we must turn our events. We must turn our eyes over to Saturday's event. That's what I was trying to say, and that is Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. We have the advantage. It is at the Emirates, and I am super excited. What's some big talking points that you guys are looking for in the game? Are we expecting a massacre? Are we expecting a tight game? Or are we just going to go out and do the business and come back?
I don't think we can underestimate Forest. I
mean,
no,
absolutely not.
Yeah, like I don't think we can go into any game underestimating any team, because it's the Prem. Like, any team can pull one over on anyone else. And it just takes a little bit of an off day, and you're draw 0-0, or you don't create opportunities, or you don't finish the opportunities you're given, and you come out with a draw. So, like, I don't think that we should go into the game thinking we're going to stomp them, but I do think that coming off of last year, the boys will be hungrier than ever, and I think that Arteta has coached them to have the mindset of, like, we're here to win big trophies, we're here to win big titles and big honors. Like, if we're not, then there's no point in us doing this. So I think they'll be hungry, and I do think they'll come out to play a really good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree, especially with how Nottingham Forest was kind of cooking towards the end of the season last season to make sure that they stayed up. And then, of course, they eventually did get the business done. And we're also seeing that they are now a whole year in a whole, summer off season with those like 12 new signings that they made last year, which were incredible signings. So they're going to have a lot more team chemistry, and I think they are going to be a little bit of a menace. I just think that we're a bit more fit, and we are, we have a bit more quality than they do just to see it over the line. But I do agree with Ari that we should not underestimate them. Like you said, there is no easy game in the Prem, but the only easy game that I see that I'm super confident about is Luton Town. I don't see them getting very many points this season, which may be very harsh. I'm sorry, Luton fans, but let's be realistic. We're going to come
back to this and regret it.
Yeah, absolutely. Luton's going to be the next Leicester. Luton's going to be the next Leicester. Are you kidding me? But Doc, what are you saying? What are you feeling?
I completely agree with you guys. I mean, Nottingham Forest beat us last year in order to help themselves stay up. So I don't think that we can go into that match lightly. I'm not sure. Do you guys think Matt Turner's going to start?
I think they have to. I think he has to, no? Because I don't know who their goalie is, because Navas was alone, correct?
Oh, yeah, it was alone. He's already gone back.
Yeah, I think he starts.
Yeah.
And they were looking to buy Henderson, but I don't think I don't think they'll get it over the line before
not enough
for our
time.
game.
Yeah. So I think he does start. I again, going back to the momentum from the Community Shield, I think it is going to be a bit of a rout. I think we're going to either win like 3 or 4-0 to start off the
Mm.
season on a really strong foot. Um, just the energy from the boys, I think it's going to be a lot better this match. Starting the season in front of your own fans at the Emirates, energy is going to be crazy. And having it be a match like this where you're playing, to be fair, bottom half of the Premier League side that is going to be fighting to stay up from relegation for this season, most likely. I think it's going to be a great match for us to start the season off on the right foot.
100%. Let's quickly talk about the injuries and the players that won't be available, and then we'll talk about our predicted lineups. So obviously no Gabriel Jesus. That's going to be a constant for at least, I'm not seeing any official reports, but from what it sounds like until at least the end of October, early November, which is a big blow from us. But of course no Jesus. Zinchenko is still not fully fit. Just to clarify and correct a thing that we said in the last podcast, he is out with a hamstring strain. So he is injured. I thought it was just due to the birth of his child, but he is in fact injured. But everybody else seems to be fully fit. So let's get right into our predicted starting 11. So we'll go with Ari first. What are your thoughts on who's going to get the nod for the start? Let's go with Doc next. Let's go with Doc. Well, who do you think is going to be get the nod for the start?
All right, I'll answer for both Ari and I. I honestly think we're going to see a similar lineup that we saw against City. Yeah, I really do. I like the midfield that we have, with Rice, Partey, and Odegaard. I think the one switch that we might see could be Trossard on the left. So we'll see Timber left back, Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White on the right, Ramsdale in goal. That midfield that I just said, Havertz up top, Saka on the right. I'd love to see, or I love Martinelli. Absolutely love him. He's incredible, but I do think we'll see Trossard.
That's bold predictions. That's bold predictions. I do think Trossard's going to be a super sub, but that's something we could talk a little bit. Ari, are you back with us? Are you here? Oh, did he
No.
Oh, here he is.
No. My mic wasn't working. I was talking, but the first
my
time
bad. All right, so yeah, what's your predicted 11?
I think like Gabe said, I think our lineup was pretty much exactly spot on from what we had guessed for the City match, aside from the striker, obviously. I think we all wanted to see Trossard, or obviously Nketiah, but it ended up being Havertz. So I think we'll probably go out the same way we came out against City. I don't think there was anything wrong with that, I think we looked really good in that formation with that lineup. So I think it's going to be the same lineup as how we came out against City.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
What about you?
Yeah. No. I think So I think we're going to see a little bit of hybrid of both of your answers. I think we're definitely going to see Ramsdale in goal, Saliba and Gabriel. I'm going to just combine the two. Almost it's Libriel. Saliba and Gabriel in the back too. Listen, guys, you got to bear with me. I'm a little tired.
I'm there with you, man.
I think we are going to see Timber and Ben White in the back. I definitely would like to see Havertz more in the 8 role, but I just don't think it's going to happen quite yet. I think we are going to see Odegaard, Partey, and Rice in the midfield. I don't think Trossard gets the start. I think Martinelli is going to get the start. But I do see Trossard coming in a little bit earlier than he did against Man City. I do foresee like maybe a 55 or 60th minute if needed. If it's like a 0-0, I definitely see him coming in at that time. I think Arteta's slowly starting to learn to make the subs a little bit earlier, which will kind of help me not have a heart attack throughout the games. But, he knows more than I do. And then, as much as I would like to see Nketiah in that striker possession, I do think it's going to be Havertz in the 9 and then Saka on the wing. I'm not going to lie, though. I would really like to see Smith Rowe get a run out. I think we're saving him more for like the FA Cup or Carabao Cups. But I'll tell you what, man, he looks like he has not been hurt. He's coming out. He's doing. I didn't know how like full of flair he was. I must not have. Maybe I don't know ball, like TikTok comments are saying, but I think I didn't know he had that in his locker. So I would like to see him come on a little bit earlier. I want to see Saka played a little less this season, just so we can keep him healthy and not have that fatigue like he had towards the end of the season. I think if we had prime Saka in that West Ham game, he's not missing that penalty at all. I think he was just mentally fatigued. So I'm glad he's back. I would like to see him back a little bit more. But yeah, that's the starting 11 prediction. And then to kind of kick it off and kind of say farewell, let's talk about our score predictions. We'll actually let Ari go first this time now that his mic's working. What is your score prediction?
I know I said we shouldn't underestimate them, but I'm gonna go with 4-1.
4-1.
Yeah.
Okay, who are your goal scorers?
I think it'll be a thrashing. I think Martinelli will have a brace. I think Saka will have one as well, and I'd like to see one from Havertz. So
100%. Doc, what about you?
I'm going with the 3-0.
3-0?
I think we're going to see. I'm gonna actually go the reverse. I think Saka is going to get a brace, and then I think Odegaard is going to get the third.
My guy. So my copium brain wants to say 5-0. I don't think it's gonna happen. You know what? No, I'm sticking with it. 5-0. I have money on Arsenal winning this weekend, so I gotta back the boys, obviously. So I'm gonna go 5-0. I'm gonna go Odegaard with the brace. I'm gonna go Havertz with one, and then Martinelli and Saka each with one. I think Odegaard is super hungry for that record this year. And he even had an interview where he was like, yeah, no, like I knew I was in that realm of goal scoring. I want to level that up. So I do think he's going to come for that record this year. And I'm super excited to see how it plans out. And he's just so good, man. He's just so good. I love him so much. Who
do you think is going to be our top goal scorer this season, guys?
Oh, man.
Because I've seen a lot of people, United mostly, saying that we aren't going to have Martinelli, Odegaard, and Saka all scoring 10-plus goals this season again. So it got me thinking, it's like, who do you guys think is going to be our top scorer and is going to kind of help carry the squad, or do you think it's going to be us spread out again?
I personally think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No. All you.
I personally think it'll be just as spread out. I think we attack from so many different angles and so many different positions on the pitch, and I think that just how fluid we play as a team and how we connect. Like, I think we will be very spread out in terms of our finishing. Like Saka coming down the right side, he has the ability to cut in and finish with his left. Or a lot of the times he'll slot it back or play the ball across the front of the net, and like either Martinelli or someone will be on the end of it to finish it on the other side of the post. So I think like we have potential to score as many goals as we did last year across all of our players. But I think Saka, with his improved ball striking, and I see it with every game that he's getting a little bit more ambitious from range and from different angles. I think with his ball striking improving the way it has been consistently, I think he'll be our top goal scorer this year.
Fair. I agree 100%. I think it's still going to be spread out. Odegaard is absolutely bagging more than 10 goals. Martinelli's absolutely bagging more than 10 goals. I think Martinelli, we talk about records. I think Martinelli's also going to be very hungry for that Brazilian goal scoring record that Firmino set. I think it was Firmino. I could be incorrect there. But Saka, again, I saw a post where someone was saying Saka is going to be the second player ever to get 20 goals and 20 assists plus. I
can 100% believe that.
I don't see the... Like, I think he's like 60% coping. Like, I think there is a 40% chance that he could do that. I just don't think it's this season. I think we're going to see the Saka being more of a playmaker than we are going to be an out and out attacker this season around, just because now we have more quality in the squad built around him. So no, I mean, if I had to pick one, I mean, and not to count out Havertz and Jesus, I mean, Havertz maybe not, but Jesus I think could get above 10. I don't know who's chatting saying that we're not going to have it spread out like that. They obviously don't know how we play. I mean, it's United. They're fucking dumb as shit anyway, so I'm not worried about it. But so no, like in all honesty, I think Martinelli, if it comes down to it, I think Martinelli is going to be our top goal scorer this year. Just because I think he's a little bit more clinical than Saka. As much as I love Saka, he's my boy. I do think Martinelli has that sense of lethalness that we see with his ball striking compared to Saka. So that's who I would say would be my leading goal scorer. But I also think that it's going to be spread around. I think we're going to see at least like that 80 goal season that we had again.
I don't. Sorry, can I just say something?
Yeah.
Before you
go for it.
I'm not sure. Like, as much as I love Martinelli, I'm not sure that I can see him scoring as many goals as he did last season. Just because, like, I feel like the way he moves and the way he produces chances is like so linear, you know, like
that's a good point.
It's like, whereas Saka is like, he's so unpredictable, like his ability to dribble and create chances and like either cut in or go down the line and play something down the line. It just makes it so much harder to predict what he's going to do. But like, it feels like Martinelli is just like so linear. Like he just sprints at the outside back, and then, you know, he tries to either go down the line or like cut in and finish. But like, it's like it feels like it's very predictable, whereas like Saka is less predictable, you know?
Oh, that's 100% valid. And
Yeah.
I definitely see what you're talking about. We saw that a couple times in the City game where it was successful a couple times, and then Walker eventually caught on, so he had to switch to his little Joga Bonito skill moves that he's got. But, you know, I said that name right, Joga Bonito. Right? I think so. Yeah. So I do see where you're coming from. I just think that when it comes to just like finishing, I think the linear isn't an issue because we have Odegaard feeding that.
True.
He can make that linear look non-linear. We just see the linear because we're on that sky cam, you know what I mean? So I think I do see what you're saying. I just think the finishing is a little bit more, but again, Saka might have been working that on the offseason, so I don't know. I'm just going based off of what we saw in preseason and what we saw from the end of last season. So, but no, I completely agree with you though. It is very linear.
I think that if I honestly think this, if Jesus wasn't hurt and had a full season, that he would have been our top goal scorer.
100%.
Like easily would have probably bagged close to 20 goals. I feel like just how fluid he is and how he can rotate onto the wing and into the middle. And when he's scoring well and is consistent, he's just bagging goals. I mean, look at the first 10 games of the season last year. Once he finally got going, he couldn't stop scoring. So I think because he's out, it is definitely going to be more spread out again between Odegaard, Saka, and Martinelli. And I think it's going to be really close between Saka and Martinelli again, like it was last year. But I'm going to give the edge, I think, to Saka as well. Yeah, it's going to be very close, but I could see Saka bagging like one or two more goals. One of the main reasons is because we have Saka on pens, and I think he's going to stay on pens.
You know what?
It's going to make it a little bit. It's going to make it a little bit easier for him to bag maybe 3, 4, 5 more goals compared to where Martinelli is going to have to do it from open play a lot more consistently, one-on-ones, cutting inside, whereas Saka is going to get a little bit more of those opportunities.
Yeah. I hear you. I completely forgot to take penalties into account, but maybe that's because I just had the feeling that Odegaard should be taking penalties. No, I'm kidding. No. But all right. So there you have it, guys. There's our preview for the Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. If you guys are tuning in tomorrow, it will be live 7:30 Eastern time. I will not be in the state. I'll actually be in another state, so it's 8:30 for me, so I get a little hour of sleep in. But are we all going to be available for a post-season or for a post-match reaction?
Yeah,
should be able. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys will definitely expect to post post game. I almost said postseason again. Post game reaction from all three of us, and from me and the boys. All I gotta say is, come on, you Gooners! Come on, you Gooners! Let's go!
Gunners, baby.
Come on, you Gunners, we're winning the league.
We're winning the league! All right, take care, guys.
All right, peace.